One of the most creative and a personal favorite director of mine is back with his latest, and one that seems fit for his twisted imagination. This is my review of Guillermo Del Toro's Nightmare Alley. We follow an ambitious carny with a talent for manipulating people with a few well-chosen words. And once he grows attracted to a fellow performer, he approaches her with an idea for a two-person act away from the carnival. Now, before I properly start with my review for Nightmare Alley, I want to know your thoughts on it, your thoughts on Guillermo Del Toro's filmography, anything and everything down there in the comments. Just start the conversation because it's always the most important part. And while you're down there, if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be, so consider clicking that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see here and want to see more. I'm a huge fan of Guillermo Del Toro. I was rooting for him, supposedly against all odds, back when he made The Shape of Water. I was rooting for it to win Best Picture, but I did not believe it whatsoever, and thankfully he won. And when it comes to his films, you can always count on quite a few things to remain consistent, and one of them is the production design. This film is no different. Every shot is bursting at the seams with detail, with intricacy, with phenomenal talent display in his production. The set, the costumes, everything feels like it has a breath of life. It feels like a character on their own. And Guillermo Del Toro is an expert at showcasing all the talent that his production put into work and making his worlds come alive. And the production design in Nightmare Alley is honestly immaculate. Everything that shows up in his framing is planting seeds for something that will eventually have a payoff. And in that regard, he's one of the most meticulous filmmakers out there. He doesn't leave anything to chance, and it's impressive to constantly see that on screen. And he's also just a very imaginative director. He is incredibly creative at telling his story. Even his camera move, the way he moves the camera kind of hypnotizes you. It literally flows through the scenery and through the story unfolding. Like, he'll just zoom out from a character and fluidly move into a panning up to focus on another character. And nobody else does that, really. Beyond the amazing production design and all that, you can tell it's a Del Toro film by the camera's movement and how detailed and precise it is. Visually, this film feels on an entirely different level. The craftsmanship to capture such haunting imagery is insane. You can see the sensational production design in all its glory, but it's the use of colors and shadows. Sometimes characters literally half and half, hidden in darkness, and then being hit with light. And Del Toro's use of the mix of warm colors with cold. The screen will be half with really warm, bright oranges, then cold, soothing blues on the other. And then his use of color is also very meaningful for the themes that the film is discussing, as he rarely uses red. So when he uses it, you definitely notice. This is a very adult-oriented, very thinking man's kind of horror film. And I deeply appreciate how he tackles this story. And he's also an incredible actor's director. Bradley Cooper is phenomenal in this. I haven't seen him this good maybe since A Star is Born, and he might just be even better in this one. Rooney Mara is stellar. Everyone does a great job, really, from Ron Perlman, David Strathairn, Richard Jenkins, Willem Dafoe, and Cate Blanchett playing the femme fatale of this film, because Nightmare Alley is a noir, a neo-noir, and that really satisfied me. I'm a huge fan of this genre, and Del Toro is able to pay homage to the tropes that come with this genre, but also do something new with him. Use his very creative imagination that he pours his heart and soul into when making his films, and he does that exactly as well with the tropes that come with the territory in this genre. I did unfortunately have a few drawbacks with the film. It does take a little while to get started. This is a 2 hour and 30-minute film, so it's not short. And once it gets going, once it finds its stride, it really hits all the marks, and it is exactly what I wanted. And it goes in these very interesting directions, and it does incredibly bold choices with its characters, including a mesmerizing ending. An ending that I'm still thinking about. An ending that is really something special. But it can feel like it's dragging a little bit too much before its actual bulk of the story get going. And I do wish we could have spent a little more time living the romance of Bradley Cooper and Rooney Mara. Once they get together, we cut to sometime afterwards because this film spans an enormous amount of time and it feels like a real journey. But that romance was never fully explored. We cut from the beginning of it to a time where there's already shaky ground beneath that relationship, and I wish we could have lived at a peaceful moment with them and see them grow and blossom, so then when certain things happen, we could have felt that emotional potency at its best, at its highest. And so I don't feel the film capitalizes truly on that. It has these very compelling, dramatically rich scenarios and conflicts, but because it skips on certain aspects of relationships, it doesn't necessarily create the most compelling characters by the end. Interesting characters, fascinating characters to watch this story unfold with them, but not necessarily the most compelling. Nightmare Alley is an impeccably crafted, slow burn, atmospheric noir. From the exquisite production design to Del Toro's sensational and awe-inspiring direction, its deep psychological themes, all interesting, that just misses the mark on a dud middle part, but beginning and ending are its real strong points. I'm giving Nightmare Alley a B+. And those are my thoughts on Del Toro's Nightmare Alley. I want to know your thoughts on it. Anything and everything down there. Start the conversation. That's the most important part. Whether it's your favorite or least favorite Del Toro film, I just want to know your thoughts. And if you like what you saw here, make sure you click that subscribe button, because if you like movies and TV, this is the place to be. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best. We're in the final stretch of the year, and right now I have a Spider-Man No Way Home review up, a Hawkeye episode review up as well. Spoilers for that one, but not for Spider-Man No Way Home. I hope to see you in any of those and in any of the future videos we have coming up for those final reviews of the year. And so until the next one, love each other and love the movies.